All right, check this shit out. It's springtime, I'm putting in my summer garden, and today I'm going to show you how I like to prepare my soil for that garden. This is an approach that you can use in a raised bed as I have here. You can use it in the ground, and it's based on what's called the BioIntensive agricultural method. So the shift of focus in BioIntensive is you're really focused on building healthy soil, and the plants kind of come out of that, versus inert soil with lots of fertilizers and things like that. So today I'm going to be preparing this soil. I'm looking for really light, loose, airy soil. I'm going to show you how I like to test it. And we're also going to add a lot of compost, and then we're going to plant some sweet potatoes. So let's get right to it. So I've already removed all the weeds out of the top, and I've scraped off the mulch. And I'm going to take what's called a spading fork. It's got 4 tines. And all we're going to do is jam it in and then lift. We're going to do the whole bed like that. So I've just finished spading it, and it's already looking really good. I've got really nice brown dark soil, still a bit of mulch. I had a bunch of these like roots. I don't know if you noticed, but there's an apple tree on either side. Experts will say not to put your bed so close to trees. I'm in an urban backyard, so I do what I can. But this is a good start. Now let's have a look at the soil. So I've been lazy and I actually haven't worked this soil in a while. I had some plants in here that overwintered a few times. But here's a good way to check your soil. You're gonna get it nice and loose like this. You're gonna take a handful, and you're gonna squeeze it, and what you wanna see is kind of the shape of your hand, just like that. But if it breaks apart, that's beautiful. It's got retention, it's got moisture, it's got structure, but it's not clumpy and clay. That's what I'm looking for, and we're gonna make it even better now by adding some compost. So here in California, we have green bins, and those all go to the dump, and they have real machines to make beautiful compost. They chop it, they wet it, they turn it. This is a 10-week compost. It also, you can see, holds some structure. This is pure organic goodness that's gonna go right on top. If you have really good soil, you only need to add about a ½ inch to an inch. I'm probably gonna add an inch or 2, and then we'll turn it in. So now we're just going to gently shovel compost all over the top of this. And again, I'm just going for about an inch. It's gonna be piled a little high right now, but I'll smooth it all out before we proceed. Okay, so now we have our compost spread, but I actually don't want it just sitting on top. I want it kind of mixed in with the top couple inches. So there's 2 ways you can do that. One is you take your spading fork again, you jam it in, and you just rock back and forth like this. And then that allows pockets of air for the compost to fall into. The other approach you can take is you take your bow rake, and this is what I used. This side smooths, this side chops, and I'm gonna just chop it. So I'm gonna do a combination of both. Once that's all worked in, we're gonna come again with our scraping side of the bow rake. We're gonna level this out as best we can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we want a nice level starting point, and then we plant, we can make little divots for the water to collect into. I also want to point out that experts will say you have to build your beds out of cedar or metal. This is the Home Depot El Cheapo Douglas fir. I built this bed over 10 years ago. Still works fine. This is, I think it's 4 2x8s. So at the time, this whole thing to build was like $25 plus the soil. So again, I don't always listen to what the internet says. So the next step is I want to put out my irrigation. I like this irrigation tape. I buy it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. And if you put out your irrigation line, it kind of helps to see where you want to plant. So with this guy, I like to do kind of a spiral. So I hit the edges on the outside, and then I have one in the middle. So as promised, these are sweet potatoes. These are slips. So I had the sweet potato in water and it sprouts, and you take that sprout and you put it in water until it roots, and then I put it into a little bit of soil. And actually some of these I grew sweet potatoes last year, and as I was harvesting them, I cut the vine into sections. So these thicker ones are actually last year's sweet potato vine that I overwintered in my greenhouse. I didn't know if that would work, but it appears to have worked. All right, so I got my sweet potatoes planted. I went kind of dense, but that's one of the benefits of the BioIntensive method is you can go denser than like seed packs and things recommend because we have such great rich soil. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is basically it for the year. I'm not gonna put fertilizer, I'm not gonna do anything. I spent an hour setting this up. I'm gonna cover it so my chickens don't tear it up, and the water's automated. So this is autopilot from here on until fall when I come back and harvest whatever I have. Except there's one remaining step. Here in San Diego, we have really long, hot, dry summers. So it's really essential that we mulch. So I'm gonna come in here with just straw and leaf. Especially with this dark soil, it will heat up really quick on a hot day and lose all its moisture. But I put an inch or two of this mulch and it helps really retain the moisture. And even where my plants are not right next to the tape, the moisture is held for so long that it spreads out and I get really good, nice moisture content in this soil. All right, so that's it. Here's our bed, mulched, planted, composted, and this is set and forget. 1 hour of work, and this is on autopilot until fall. And hopefully I'll come back and get, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 pounds of sweet potatoes, and that'll feed us for a long time. So last thing is I'm just gonna put a bug mesh over it, mainly to keep my chickens out. These don't need any pollination, so awesome. It's summer garden, get out there, plant your stuff, grow some food. Catch you on the next one.